Hello everyone and welcome back to the Bounty Hunter TCG for the first big card reveal video. Today I'll be revealing the first technically 11, but well, you'll see when I get to it, but the first 11 cards of the Bounty Hunter TCG, the new version 3, which is the first one I'm putting out here. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Before we get into it, I'll explain a little bit of the background just so some of the cards make sense. Obviously, I can't really explain the rules yet till I get a few more cards made and I can do a video on it. But basically, it's kind of like a war between bounty hunters. That's kind of the lore behind this. Basically, they're going after each other. There's 4 different, I don't think nations is the right word, but that's what I'm going to use for now. But there's 4 different nations. Eventually, those are going to be made into battlefield cards, which I'll get into what those do eventually. But I think I'll do that for one of the last videos because those are going to take a very long time to make, and you'll see why when I get to them. But basically, in the game, those battlefield cards help bounty hunters that are part of that battlefield, which we'll see when we get to it today. But today, the first battlefield up is the city of Auroras, which is like a futuristic cyberpunk city. There's 3 other ones, which I'll get to eventually for the other reveals. But for now, we're just doing the city of Auroras and all 10 cards from there, plus 1 extra one, which I'll probably explain that one first. But, yeah, the objective of the game is to get the bounty on your opponent's bounty hunter and get the points from that, and then use those points to add more bounty hunters to your current attack, I guess. As well as a big goal of the game, not exactly the main goal. The main goal is to have those points, but a big goal of the game that'll help you push you over the edge and win the game is to get enough points to unlock the battlefield card. Eventually, I'll do a more in-depth video on the rules, which will probably be very, very soon once I get the next wave done. But let's go ahead and get into the reveals. The first reveal up is the Star Charge. It says it's number 65. I actually haven't decided on the length of the set. I might extend it by 10 more cards. I initially said I wanted everything to be about 50 cards just for the first set, but I'm realizing it's going to be a lot bigger than that. But basically, the Star Charge is the biggest part of the game. This is what you use to power up your bounty hunters to use their attacks. So yeah, and you'll see how you use it when I get to the first bounty hunter reveal. The first bounty hunter up is Armalax. I've shown him before, but like I said, actually, I don't think I've said this in one of my other videos, because I just did this recently, but I've changed all the card designs. There's different colors for each battlefield. So as you can see in the top right, it has the lime green and the gear, which represents the city of Auroras, and as you see, he's 2 stars, and that's how many star charges it takes to use his attack. He has 50 attack and 70 health. Eventually, these cards will have abilities. Not sure if I'll add any in set 1. I might add a couple, but in the future sets, there'll be a lot more for abilities. I'm just leaving myself some room to grow the game. But yeah, first up is Armalax. Next up is VC11. So for the city of Auroras, these cards are most of the time, a lot of times, I guess, are going to be droids or robots. And this is one of the first ones here. He's a common. He's pretty weak. Well, 50 health is pretty good for a 1-star. Or, yeah, I'd say it's pretty decent. That's I don't know if it's decent, but it's pretty average, I guess. I don't know about... Average isn't the right word, but it's kind of in the middle. And 30 attack is pretty also average. So yeah, he costs 1 star charge to power up, and yeah, so I think you guys are starting to get the idea of how the game is going to sort of work. Next card up is Zek. He's a 1-star, and he's got 40 health, 40 attack. Now, I didn't mention this yet, but the idea behind the Auroras cards are that they're pretty even with their health and attack. At the moment, I don't know why, but I'm blanking on the ability of the battlefield. I have it all written down, but I can't remember it for some reason. But some of the other cards, they're gonna have stronger health and weaker attack. So it kind of depends on the strategy of the battlefield. I don't know how much sense that last part made, but the next card up is Zarb. Pretty basic droid, 40 health, 30 attack, pretty weak, you know. There's not much else to say about him. Next up is Flytex, and we're starting to get into the more interesting cards here. So he's a 3-star, which is a pretty powerful card, but not super powerful. The really powerful cards are 4 stars and above, so 4 to 5 stars. But he's in the middle here, and 90 health is still really good. Next up is the first rare of the game. This is Rex Lantelli, which is one of the oldest characters I've created. I've done so many versions of him. This is a brand new version, and I really like how he came out, and he's the first rare. So the rares are defined, well, obviously at the bottom of the card, but also you can see all the borders around his boxes are gold, and his name is Silver. That's how you can identify that he's a rare. And yeah, he looks really cool. 120 health, 80 attack. 80 attack is pretty good, and he's 4 stars, and that he's pretty good. For the final bounty hunter reveal, we have Wix, and he is the first gold rare of the game. As you can see, gold border, gold boxes, colored in name boxes and stats. He's got a cool gear pattern across the back of his card, and all of his stars are gold. So 140 health, 100 attack is pretty insane, but he's also extremely expensive to power up. So there's that. Yeah. So for the decks, I'm kind of planning on having it, you can only have up to 10 star charges in your deck, so this is about half of them. Of course, there's going to be cards I'll add in where you can revive star charges and all that, so you know, you can reuse a lot of them, but you don't want to use like half of all your charges on him, because that's why you only have want to have like 1 5-star in your deck, because it's extremely expensive to use. But I might up the count of star charges like 15. Haven't decided on the deck parameters yet, but yeah. Next up is the first beast card, and that is the Wyvern of Auroras. As you can see, he has a B on his nameplate there, and he's also a rare. And the reason he's a rare is because he's a 4-star, and he gives your bounty hunters extra 40 health. Now the beast cards are attachment cards. Basically, you attach them to bounty hunters, and it boosts their attack or their health depending. It mainly depends on the battlefield, because certain beasts will play into certain strategies. And eventually they'll have abilities. These first 3 aren't going to have any abilities, but I'll probably add some later in set 1. So yeah, they're pretty good attachment cards, and they also kind of run up the points there. So if he's attached to, say, Rex Lantelli, they kill your opponent's getting 8 points from those stars. Which, by the way, your opponent gets as many points as the amount of stars of the bounty hunter they killed. So yeah. The next card up is the Lynx of Auroras. I really like how he came out. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, not a whole lot else to say. He's pretty weak beast. He gives your bounty hunter an extra 10 power, but then again, only 1 star. That's not a huge loss for an extra 10 power. So yeah, again, a lot of these stats might end up changing. But yeah, these are just kind of the first few cards I'm getting out here. So Lynx of Auroras. And for the final card reveal of today, we have the Serpent of Auroras. Really happy with how he came out as well. Cool, kind of like half and half shading there. 2-star, 20 power. So yeah, he looks pretty cool, and that is the final reveal for today. He's also an uncommon. Whoops, I lied. The last reveal today is the card backs. These are the card backs for the game. Yeah, look pretty cool. So there's that. Alright, and that is it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching the first few reveals. Let me know what you think about them. And yeah, see ya.